Everybody wants a super clone. Everybody wants the best of the best. But do you really understand the differences?
Download now. The ultimate guide to Istanbul.
I'm going to talk about a couple of things that you should know when thinking about buying a watch here in Istanbul. And we're going to start off with numero uno. All the watches are made in China. That's the first thing you should know. All the watches are made in China, and we are standing in Istanbul talking about watches. So when you walk around the markets, the one thing you will not see is super clones. You have to know where to go and who sells them. And you also should know the factories that make the best versions of that when it comes to super clone, epic watch, super fake, all that good stuff.
Yes, the super clone watch. A thing of beauty sought by many, but rather rare in Istanbul, or anywhere outside mainland China for that matter. The most popular is the Rolex, a workhorse more than a thing of beauty. However, Rolex is the best replicated watch brand of all when it comes to the super clone. But let's not forget Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe, Richard Mille, Panerai, Omega, Cartier, and others. This level of quality, the super clone, is not cheap in price. So let's not be fooled by sellers offering such hard-to-find quality at too good to be true prices. Beware of the red flags when hunting for these rare finds in the markets or online. If you look hard enough, you will find someone willing to take your money. Always use a trusted source.
Put your weapons down!
A low-quality watch is going to be quartz, battery, or possibly a very, very, very low-grade Japanese movement. Cheap band. It's made from crappy materials. And these kind of watches, anywhere from $30 to $100, 100 euros, say. And you might see those sold for 130, 150. But those are your low-grade watches, and those are the watches you really want to avoid. All right, people, just real quick, breaking the action here. This is my personal collection of watches that I've acquired over my travels around the world. Some of these are super clones. Some of them are just cheap junk, like these right here. If you can notice there's something wrong with this watch. This one right here. These are the type of watches you will get in Istanbul for anywhere from 100 to about 130 euros. These ones right here. These are the junk watches, and you should not be spending over $100 for this. These are not good watches. These are very cheap watches. You can get these in Southeast Asia for roughly about $35 to $50. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to cut into this video real quick to show you guys some of my watch collection. And yeah, all different stuff, but I would stay away from this junk. Stay away from this junk that they're selling for 100 to 130 euros in Istanbul. Not worth it. Junk, cheap bracelet. Guys, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't buy this shit. So anyway, back to the video. You're gonna run into that mid-level watch, which is going to be an automatic Japanese movement watch. Gonna be some noticeable flaws, differences from the original. Everything's gonna be slightly off. Basically, what it's not gonna have is accuracy to the retail version. And like I said, this mid-grade is gonna be all Japanese movement. So it just is not going to have the fine details. There's so much to it. It's the weight of the watch. It is the accuracy, the details on the face, the dial, you know, everything, the clasp, the quality of the clasp. The lower the grade, the quality of watch, the cheaper it's going to look, cheaper it's going to feel, and also its lifespan is going to be shorter. You have to answer the why. Why do I want this? And then you have to figure out, okay, is it an everyday wear? If I was to wear it every single day, I would go with a super clone. Sure, it's more money. However, you put this watch on your wrist compared to the super clone version, you're going to feel the difference even on your wrist. Just not how it looks on your wrist and things like that, but you're gonna feel the difference on your wrist. Keep that in mind. Why are you buying the watch in the first place? So, like I said, you have multiple dials on a watch like this. Ask them, like, how does this work? What does this one do? What does that one do? How do I reset it? Do this, do this. And they might tell you, like, well, on this grade of watch, this one I'm holding in my hands, this doesn't work according to the retail copy. X, Y, and Z, why it doesn't work. And then they can show you a super clone version, it working, and explain to you this is the best quality they make with all the working functions versus you don't get X, Y, and Z on these lower qualities. So you have to keep in mind that you're paying for the detailing, the accuracy, and how it feels on your wrist and everything like that. So you got to keep that all in mind. Whereas when you get to a super clone, this is where it's going to mirror the retail version. It's going to have, under scrutiny, it's going to have those fine details. So you got to keep that in mind, that there are different levels of watches and they all come with different price ranges. So this is where the super clone, though, super clone, yes, in China you can get a super clone cheaper, but you're standing in Istanbul. You have to keep that in mind. You're in Istanbul, these watches come from China. But the advantage is you're getting to try the watch on, you're getting to look at it, inspect it, feel it, compare it to a lower grade watch, and then make that decision. Plus you get to haggle, you get to do some negotiation, and they'll size it for you once you buy it. So that's probably the huge benefit of coming to Istanbul to buy a super clone watch over China, is that you have that hands-on, where you don't get that if you're ordering from China.